All right, happy Wednesday night, everybody. Welcome on into the daily broadcast, emanating forth and coming to you from the Raiderland World Headquarters, where it is a current 19 degrees outside. Was that Clint Longley, the Mad Bomber for the Dallas Cowboys in the 1970s? Yeah, give us your temperature and just report it by way of uniform number and everything else tonight. How cold is it where you are? Texas Tech basketball stumbling in the town of the Cow last night against TCU. I didn't see this one coming. I really thought they would handle it a little bit better. There's been a couple of other games that I kind of thought would play out like this. Not this one. What will it do to Tech seeding wise? We'll talk about that tonight. And then it's What If Wednesday, created by our good friend Robert C. All right. Hey, Chris. What if Wednesday we do alt history? Tonight, the Bo Jackson question. What if Bo Jackson doesn't get hurt against Cincinnati playing for the Raiders? The hip doesn't go bad. What happens next? Greatest athlete ever? Greatest athlete in a century? Great, you tell me. All that in the cat distribution system has smiled upon us again out here in West Texas. We'll talk about that tonight as we go through. All right. Get in tonight. Thanks to United Supermarkets and Market Street. All of your questions and comments, whether you're on YouTube, and I hope everybody on YouTube is hitting that thumbs up and like and sharing it and everything. That helps us grow. If you're on Facebook Live, that's great. You can also subscribe on YouTube. It don't cost nothing. And Twitter at Ryan Hyatt Media. Love the Twitter people. United Supermarkets, Market Street, making your communications happen tonight. In 3, in 2. Good evening, West Texans, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, theraiderland.com, the website. We're happy to be with you here in the Raiderland World Headquarters, where it is as we said, balmy 19 degrees tonight. Basketball. What if Wednesday? I don't know, anything and everything you want to get into tonight. How many dogs do you have? How many cats do you have? We now have 3 cats. We used to have 5 dogs running around here. Now we're down to 2. We're getting low on the dogs, but we're going up on the cats. All right, you guys know what to do. We're brought to you by Gators Bayou. It's freaking freezing cold. You want hot Cajun food and cold drinks. Well, Gators Bayou, 98th and Indiana, 98th and Slide Road, they've got you taken care of in Lubbock, Texas. A lot of different, I can send you different ways on the menu. Cajun pasta is where I would start you off first. Get the mild. You're not ready for the hot. Work your way up on that. I don't know. Maybe you just want like a Cajun BLT. That'd be a great sandwich. Fantastic. You want po' boys? They got po' boys. Little jambalaya. They got that too. Make it happen when you go there and tell them we sent you all the great advertisers here. Please, if you see them online, we on our Facebook page, we really feature them on there, and obviously on our website, you can link to that and everything else. But hey, it goes a million miles on any content you love, that if you'll just thank the people that make it possible, we can do even more. So we thank them for that. Gators Bite. All right. Texas Tech men's basketball losing last night, 69-66. It was so many little things that turned into big things. And last night was the game that Texas Tech will lose or probably get beat out in the NCAA tournament. And I'm not saying that as a mean thing against Tech, but every team has their Achilles heel. The Achilles heel for this Tech team, extended scoring droughts at times, leaky defense, rebounding, got out-rebounded, and then they kind of hammered you on points off turnovers. Nothing was like horrible wrong on anything, but when you add all those things up, and you still almost won. That's what's really impressive about this team, that it was still 69-66. And we've seen this team play so many different styles, win different ways, lose different ways. Fascinates me going into the tournament. Everybody wants to go into the NCAA tournament saying, okay, what's the bad matchup? What's the bad matchup? And a lot of people will say, okay, it's going to be a big guy or it's going to be a physical team. Well, not necessarily. I've seen Tech handle physical teams. Win at Houston. I've seen different things. So it's not that easy with this team. This team, though, I think, what's the Achilles heel? It's all the little things that on a given night, if you don't do it right, you're going to get beat. All right, let's get it going on the comments tonight. Brought to you by United Supermarkets and Market Street. You could stop there tonight on your way home. Ready to go meals, anything you need. It's cold. They got all, I mean, barbecue, different places, whatever you want in the deli section. Hot wings. They got hot wings. You can get your own hot wings there. The talking box is on, Craig. I agree. It is on. Alan jumping in on our YouTube channel. Ryan Eyes Raiderland. Don't cost nothing. Willie Mays outside. Ooh. Like Willie Mays San Francisco or Willie Mays with the New York Mets, which nobody wanted that. Feels like Ted Williams. Yeah. Which, going back a little bit, it feels like Ted Williams tonight. The little known Jerry Jeff Walker song that never really caught on. I feel like Ted Williams tonight. Thank you. I'm done here. I got no reason to stay around. Joseph Henderson on Facebook. Mama said it will be that way sometimes in the Big 12. Agreed. And last night was a Big 12 game. Really? Yes, it was. Both teams are in the Big 12. They played a Big. What do we mean by that? TCU doesn't suck. They're not great, but everybody in the Big 12, minus kind of Colorado this year, everybody in the Big 12 can beat you. They can play. They got dudes, as Jerome Tang would say up there at Kansas State. They got dudes. So if you don't bring it, or you're deficient in certain areas, you've got a great chance to get beat. Particularly when Sermons is officiating. Craig, last night, death by 1,000 cuts. And that's what I was saying, that it wasn't any one thing. Now, we can always go back in a game, and I used to do this when I was doing play-by-play, and you would always look for that one thing in the post game to really, tell the people about and hammer on. And then I would go back later on that night. We'd be hanging out at the hotel bar or whatever, and talking with coaches and doing whatever. And I had focused on this one thing that I really wanted to bring to the people and say, there it is. And then we'd be talking. It was like 5, 6 things that you go, yeah, that, but. And we do a horrible job, I think, in the media a lot of times on that in real time after a game. Guilty as charged. Last night, it would have been easy to, pick out something. What do you want to blame? Here, let's go back to the, let's see if I can call up the stat box there, I mean, what do you want to blame? Turnovers, you had 13, they had 9, but they maximized theirs 17-9. Okay, so turnovers, that was it. 3-point shooting. You were 9 of 25, 36%. That's, by the way, 7 more than you should ever take in a game. I would have focused on that last night. Rebounds. We got rebounds. 37-29. Defensive rebounds. That's taking away their ball, giving it to you. 22-22. Offensive rebounds, 15-7. So we go to second chance points, 17-10. There you go. There's another one. So we might have been focusing on points off turnovers, and it could have been second chance points. Then again, maybe it was the bench points. And this is something that I think we're going to have to talk about going into the NCAA tournament. Benches get shorter. It's already really short. 23-8. Points in the paint. Well, you were horrible. You didn't do anything. You beat them 34-30. And then, hey, fast break points, eliminate that in your analysis of games when you look at stats. They do a horrible job codifying it. I'm not even going to go with it. All right. But yeah, death by 1,000 cuts. But in real time, we do a horrible job as announcers of trying to identify that. We want to come up with something in the postgame and say, hey, if they'd done this better, would have been a lot better. And that's true on some nights, but not most nights. Oh, Alan Corbin is back. Basketball. sunk themselves for a 3 seed. They don't attack the bucket enough in all these losses, and the free throw disparity shows it. I would agree. You want to get to the line, get to the hoop. You want to get to the free throw line, get to the basket. If you sit out there and camp out and shoot 20 something threes, you're not going to get free throws. Now, that said, Sermons and the crew were horrible last night. They're just bad. And I don't know, he has an issue with Texas Tech. I'm not sure what it is. I'm not one who's ever done it, whether I was doing Lady Raider games or otherwise, to lay any loss on the officials. And it wasn't the officials that caused you to lose last night. But that was a bad crew. They're just not good, you know? But if you want to go to the line, get to the hoop. Again, and I've said this before, I got to sit in on a lot of Bob night practices and even a couple of shoot arounds and different things. And one of the things he preached, you've got to make more than the opponent shoots. And you do that by getting to the rim, by being aggressive. It's over there. The rim's over there. When you're out here doing this, you need to be doing this. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Robert, you have a baseball and football Hall of Famer. Thank you very much. Temperature-wise. Chris, it could be worse. You could be Kansas. The easy, low-hanging fruit right now is to say Bill Self can't coach. Bill Self can coach. He's a good coach. But Bill Self is a lot better coach when he has all the dudes. Nobody else has the dudes. And now with NIL and transfer, everybody got the dudes. So now NIL and the transfer portal has killed Allen Fieldhouse. You used to just roll out of bed if you were at Kansas and say, Allen Fieldhouse. You want to play here? Go to the NBA? All right. Be on TV every night. Play in front of 17,004 fans. Used to roll out of bed. Hey, you want to play here at Cameron Indoor Stadium every night? 8,000 fans. Go to the NIL has killed that, and that's good if you're at Texas Tech. That's great if you're at Texas Tech. Bill Self is still a good basketball coach, but it sure helps when you've got a concentration of talent in about 10 or 12 programs, and you only got to coach about 5 times a year. Now he's got to coach about 25 times a year. Welcome to it, buddy. I'm not going to say anything about the hair. I have no license to say anything about anybody's hair. Tradition is dead in college sports when it comes to recruiting. They do not care. The 15, 16, 17-year-old that you're recruiting right now, they don't care what your team did, what your school did, how much you love it, what all this stuff. Show me the money. Show me the path to the pros. But let's go back to the show me the money. I'll play anywhere if the check is right, which is exactly what has made the NFL the greatest sports league in America for 40 years now, damn near 50, when they overtook Major League Baseball. That those players, they don't care. They go where the money is. And if you're a Tech fan, again, this is good for you, because the other system, you had no shot. You had no shot whatsoever. You couldn't compete. You never competed. You had like 4 years in 70 years of trying to do it. So embrace it right now, all right? Embrace the fact that you're a Board of Regents member, Cody Campbell, just along with John Sellers, sold off Double Eagle, 4.1. I love it. 4.1 billion dollars. Tell me again, Texas Tech is poor, can't compete, doesn't have people. We can shut up that narrative right now, tonight, right? We can do it. Jared, every kid is now a hired gunslinger. Hey, Jared, news to you. Every kid before that was a hired gunslinger. They didn't come to your school because they liked it. They came because you gave them something. You gave them a scholarship, you gave them this, you gave them that. They didn't just show up and play just because they loved it. They came because you gave them something. You gave them something in, not just after the recruiting process, but amenities, all that stuff, facilities. Nobody, and I'm going back 25, 35, 40 years, been doing this. Nobody just showed up because they loved your school. You may love your school. I don't know where you went to school. You may love your school. They went to your school because you gave them something. End of sentence, end of story. And that's okay. Just we need more people to admit it and understand it. Now, those guys, those kids, those women, those, players, athletes, everything in between, some of them, after you gave them something to come to your school, fell in love with it. They became a Red Raider. They became a SMU Mustang. They became a whatever that they were not before, that they had no connection to, didn't matter. But they became that as they went through. That's cool. But I think you're going to see maybe less of that going forward. And it's now 100% transactional basis. What we're doing here. All right, let's go to the What If Wednesday. Bo Jackson. What if Bo Jackson does not get hurt? What if Bo Jackson doesn't get hurt playing for the Raiders against the Bengals? The hip never gets injured. And we go into the 90s, and Bo Jackson is still playing for the Royals before going to the White Sox, still playing for the Raiders. Bo Jackson coming out of Auburn. Bo Jackson. Bo knows the dual sport athlete, better than Deion Sanders, better than anybody else, all-star, Pro Bowler, you name it. If Bo Jackson doesn't get hurt, what is the Bo Jackson trajectory into the 90s? Do we sit there and consider him the greatest athlete in the last half century, 50 years, 70 years? Let's take Jesse Owens out of it to 1950, pre-1950, Jesse Owens. All right, greatest athlete. 1950 to 2000, 50 years. Who you go with? Would it have been Bo Jackson? We can go back 50 years from now, and that would include Bo Jackson in all of my lifetime, plus a little on the other side. But Bo Jackson fascinates me on what we never really got to see. Dude comes back from hip surgery and plays Major League Baseball. Tell me another player who does that. Tell me another athlete who does that. And I know if you're younger, maybe you've only seen the 30 for 30s and the different things. But if you're my age or, within maybe 10 years younger, you ought to have a good understanding of Bo Jackson. What happens if he doesn't get hurt? What's different? You tell me. Chris is jumping in on our Facebook. By the way, YouTube people, give us a thumbs up, share it. All of the people on Facebook, subscribe to YouTube tonight. Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. Don't cost nothing. Drive that number. We want to be over 500 by the end of the week. We're getting closer. All right. And everybody on Twitter at Ryan Hyatt Media, you can get in as well. We have scads of people watching on Twitter. The comments, and I still don't understand it. I don't think it has anything to do with our, third-party provider on anything throttling it down. And I think some people maybe comment on Twitter and think I get to see it. I don't get to see it. You got to come on line through that. All right. Would the Raiders be in Vegas if Bo Jackson is able to play longer? Good question. All right. So Bo Jackson, they're in Los Angeles, I believe. They'd left Oakland, gone to LA. I think they're in LA when he's coming onto the scene. So is Al Davis able to leverage Bo Jackson getting back into Oakland and going back there in the 90s? Maybe they get a new stadium, maybe that, and that was the thing that the Raiders were pretty good during that time frame, and it didn't matter where they were. So I would probably say, no, I don't think it matters if Bo Jackson is great in playing into the 90s. That I think the Davis family, they're always looking for greener pastures. I don't think it would have changed anything on where that franchise ends up playing. They would have had more leverage though going forward. Jared on Facebook. So far, Tech baseball has played 2 series with amazing mascots. North Carolina Tar Heels, UC Irvine, the Anteaters keep playing the weird mascots. Anteaters can't handle the cold. Texas Tech is in business. They moved the start time up Friday to 2 o'clock, I believe, or 3 or what. Hey, memo to Tim Tadlock. We're going to talk about this tomorrow. Don't play on Friday. It's going to be 34 freaking degrees. You have really good arms. Don't do it. I know you hate double headers. I know you don't want to do double headers, but it's going to be infinitely warmer on Saturday and even warmer on Sunday. Do a single game on Saturday, do a doubleheader on Sunday, pay for their flight. Dude just sold $4.1 billion. Call Cody Campbell and say, hey, UC Irvine, are you on a charter? What are you on? Do you need a charter? We'll do it. Get the 3 games in, play it in good weather. But if you play on Saturday, on Friday, and you risk arms or anything else, don't do it. And I really don't get it because Tim Tadlock was around when I was around in the late 80s and early 90s. And I saw every year Tech playing in horrible weather conditions, whether it was home or, from Kearney, Nebraska or Wichita State, and seeing guys like Jeff Beck, ruin their arms in bad weather. Don't do it. You don't have to do it. You got the money. It used to be, well, they got a flight to catch. Buy them a freaking charter jet. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk on college baseball. I appreciate it. Chris, Bills don't lose 4 straight Super Bowls. The Raiders get to a couple of those. All right, so was it 90? Bills and Raiders in 90? I think maybe that they beat the Raiders. Maybe that goes a different direction. So that's Giants and Raiders. Yeah. I agree with you there that for about a 2-year window for sure, the Raiders are right there with Buffalo. Art Shell head coach. Bo Jackson gets a shoe deal for football and baseball. Bo Jackson has those sports shoes. Michael Jordan has basketball, 2 most dominant sports shoe apparel athletes of all time. Yeah. That was there. Alan, if Bo doesn't hurt his hip, imagine the spectacle of a Bo Jackson, Michael Jordan MLB game. Bud Selig would have made it happen. So, we get into the Michael Jordan got suspended by the NBA for gambling, but he used it to go play baseball for the White Sox. That's when Bo Jackson was with the White Sox there in 90, 94, whatever it was, 90, 94, 95. Can't remember which years. Jordan absolutely suspended for gambling, 100%. It'll come out someday. Doge is probably going to uncover this. Donald Trump is probably going to uncover this, that they will get to the bottom. I don't care about who killed Kennedy. He's dead, still dead. 1 shooter, 2 shooter, don't matter. But Michael Jordan, gambling, 100% suspended. Now, how would they have made that happen? Would have been interesting. Chris, Cowboys Raiders Super Bowl in the 90s. 90, 91. See, the Cowboys weren't good enough yet. Cowboys obviously don't get good enough until 92. The Raiders, 89, 90, 91, that's when they were peaking. They would have been just maybe a little schism off. I don't know that would have lasted. Now, maybe with Bo healthy and who knows what happens in free agency, but they were just like this off on being able to say you would have seen that Super Bowl. The Raiders would have had to sustain a little longer, and you could do it back then. No salary cap, no salary cap. You could do it, and the Cowboys, were getting there. Craig, the Nike Bo Nose ad is still as big as Air Jordan today. Is it? I don't think it is. And maybe if you're our age or in the 40s, mid 50s, whatever, that we all remember the Bo Nose. I don't. I think more young people today know Michael Jordan, Air Jordan, all that stuff. I think they know that more than they know Bo. Again, if you don't watch the 30 for 30, if you're a 35-year-old, 30-year-old, 25-year-old watching this show tonight, watching on the replay, you have no personal recollection of Bo Jackson other than history, which is kind of why we do these things. All right? That's why we do what we do. I want y'all to learn a few things. Somebody's got to do it. I think the interesting question becomes, I don't think he continues to be a two-sport player beyond about 91 or so if everything's going well. I think he's got to go one direction. And I think at the time he probably goes baseball. The money in baseball, the money in football, was still more in line and equal. In baseball, you could make as much money playing baseball with your contracts and everything else as you could in football. Now, obviously, that would change in the coming 10, 15 years with rookie contracts, second-year contracts, and how much more money you could make in the NFL. But still in the late 80s, early 90s, you could have less wear and tear on the body and still make a crap ton of money. And you had Nike. And baseball was still, so we go into the early 90s, and this is all history. Do we have the strike in 94? And where's Bo in 94? Okay, where's baseball in 94? Then he comes back. How many years does he have? He still makes a lot of money. I think he would have ended up going baseball. That the wear and tear on the body in football, that he would have had a good 6-7 year run in football, made the playoffs, done a couple of things, maybe go to a Super Bowl, maybe don't know. And then he can ride out baseball for the rest of the decade. He's playing in the late 90s if he's not hurt. He is absolutely playing in the late 90s. And now we get into the steroid era. What are you taking steroids? My God, Bo Jackson on steroids? Don't want to know. Didn't Bo hit a home run off Nolan his first at bat? No, I don't think it was first at bat off. Well, it wasn't his first at bat. Maybe his first at bat against Nolan, he had a home run. I think you may be right. I think you may be right on that. Sounds good, though, doesn't it? Bo Jackson in pinstripes, teaming with Derek Jeter. Yeah, makes me want to vomit. That's horrible. Don't want to see that. Nobody would have wanted to see that. Bo Jackson traded by the White Sox. Jerry Reinsdorf, 1996. Joe Torre, Yankees just getting going. Rangers getting better in 96, 97. Finally making the playoffs. The postseason for the first time. So now you got the Rangers with Will Clark and that bunch taking on Bo Jackson and the Yankees. No, I don't want to. It doesn't do anything for me. All right. How cold is it where you are? Everybody who is watching live right now, this is a Raiderland roster call out. Everybody who is watching live, whether you are on YouTube, whether you are on Twitter, at Ryan Hyatt Media on Twitter, and you can get in on Twitter. United Supermarkets, Market Street takes care of that. You can get in. Facebook, let's do the temperature check right now before we get out. I want to see what you guys give me the temperature and where you are. You know, give me the temperature and where you are before we get out here tonight. If Bo chose baseball, would he have become a Yankee? Yeah, Chris just threw it out. Didn't everybody? Yeah. I mean, didn't everybody become a Yankee at some point? All right, so let's go. Let's go to the phones. Let's go to the official temperature rankings. Everybody who is watching, whether you've ever commented before or not, live, watch on here tonight. Give me the temperature and where you are. Well, hi there, Johnny Moore. Hold on. I'm not going to tap on that. That's not good. All right, let's go here. Go to the West Texas Mesonet. Set it up here. All right, we are at a balmy, we're still at 19. We're at 19 right now at the Raiderland World Headquarters, southwest of Lubbock, Texas, give or take a little bit. Meanwhile, Timbo, 26 in South Austin. Good Lord, they don't know what to do with that out there. That ain't good. Andy, 23 pounds. My God. Oh, 23 in Lubbock. Okay. I see what you're saying there. So you're 23, yeah. We're sitting there at 19 where we are at the headquarters. CJ on Facebook, 16 our high in Jenks, Oklahoma. Good Lord. Well, they don't know what to do with it up there. "13 degrees up there in Canyon. I'm proud of my son. My son is a freshman at West Texas State University, also known as West Texas A&M, but it's West Texas State to me. It was like 1 degrees this morning. He got up, he went to class. At least that's what he said, and we're going with that. I was proud because I'm telling you what, me, 1 degrees, I ain't rolling out of that dorm room, baby. I can tell you right now, would not have been rolling out of that dorm room going to class. Wouldn't have happened. Trust me. Let's see, Craig. It's Texas Tech, Billy Joe Tolliver temperature, 17. Don Meredith, Billy Joe Tolliver out there in the Abernathy. You guys jump in on the comment section, whether you've ever done it before or not. You tell us. This is a great time if you've ever thought about commenting using the Market Street United Supermarkets comment line. This is the easy way to do it. How freaking cold is it where you are? I'll go a couple more minutes. Hold on a second. My wife, Reed's hair froze yesterday morning. I did not know that. The hair product he's using is maybe we need to look into that a little bit. You know, not sure what he's using on the hair. You know, got to do what you got to do. Love seeing Jenks, Oklahoma up there. Dan Marino. Can't believe Collier didn't weigh in tonight. Oh, we didn't. Okay, tomorrow night we will get into the cat distribution system tomorrow night on the show. We got going on other things. Yeah, we got a new cat. Got a new cat here at the house. Showed up around here, I don't know, about a week or so ago. A little bitty girl out there, and there was no way we were going to let her freeze to death. But we do have a new cat. So tomorrow we'll try to devote a little more time on the broadcast. How many dogs and cats do you have? How did you acquire them? Because sometimes out here they just show up. They're just here, or somebody else has one that shows up, and you go, all right, we'll take the one that showed up at your place. We have a new one, and she stinks. Good God. taking the kitten and holding ourselves up in a reach room. That's my allegedly my wife commenting on that right there. Great little girl, great little kitten. But she's, I think, getting introduced to cat food for the first time, and the toots are, woo, yeah. Let me tell you about that. That'll keep us up all night. We don't have to worry about the heat going out. All right, you guys are the best. We're going to post this. I ask you to do one thing for me tonight. Share this with your friends, everybody you know. Put it on your YouTube page, your Twitter page, anything else you got. Do that for me. We're going to have it at theraiderland.com. Come back in the morning. It's Thursday, rated right, overrated, and underrated Thursday on the website. Going to be a great day to get that going. And just share everything we do. If you see our sponsors online, tell them thanks for being a part of Raiderland. Got to hit the end stream button. Yeah, my age. That's always dicey.